the people unite.
Hey, everybody. Welcome
Hello,
to
everybody.
People Unite. How's everybody doing?
We've made it through another
Friday.
week.
We did.
Barely.
We did.
Barely.
Good. I'm good.
And I thought we'd get a little bit of a reprise this week, you know, from all the excitement from the weekend. But holy cow. How's everybody doing? Okay?
Yeah.
Hanging in there.
Yep.
Hanging in there. I get you.
As good as can be.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening.
All we can do is lean on each other at this point.
Absolutely. So anybody who's watching us, welcome. And please let us know where you're watching us from in the chat. Interact with us. Let's kind of lighten it up a little bit today. So our theme for today is Tantrum of the Week. So we're going to look at the kind of the toddlers we have running the government right now. And we're going to vote on who gets Tantrum of the Week. But before we do that, let's take care of business and talk a little bit about what happened today. A couple things. So let's listen a little bit about the SCOTUS ruling. Okay, and we'll talk about it. I'll cut it off. I'll start playing it and cut it off in a couple different places.
Mark, talk to me about what we heard from the liberals on the court. And again, tell me why it is so unusual to have the dissent read out loud and for that dissent not to end with the word respectfully.
Yeah, these are things court watchers always look out for because they're little ways that the dissenters signal that they are truly furious with a decision. When a justice doesn't say that they have respect in the dissent, and when a justice reads the dissent from the bench, which only happens a few times a term at most. So Justice Sotomayor reading this was a way for her to signal to the entire country that she thinks something has gone horribly awry. And of course, you can get that from the text of her dissent as well. You can also get it from Justice Jackson's dissent, which you just quoted from, which is even harsher and more brutal in its rhetoric. These justices think that the Supreme Court may have just ended American democracy as we know it. There's a lot here that revives arguments that they made in the immunity decision last term, which they also dissented from, where they argued that the conservative supermajority on this court just keeps handing Trump more and more power, giving Trump special treatment, and ceding the powers of the judiciary and Congress to limit executive authority. Justice Jackson warned that the Supreme Court is creating a zone of lawlessness for the executive branch where it can just declare and start to implement all kinds of unconstitutional policies, and lower courts will be powerless to stop those on a nationwide basis. Birthright citizenship is Exhibit A, right? It may be that once the administration starts enforcing this policy, your citizenship will depend on what state you're born in. If you're in one of the states that sued in this case, like New Jersey, then you can still get birthright citizenship because the injunction will apply to you. But if you're born across the river in Philadelphia, then you might not get birthright citizenship because Pennsylvania didn't sue and it's not a party to this case. The whole point of nationwide injunctions was to prevent that kind of patchwork and to ensure that one judge, one court could protect everyone's rights at once. The Supreme Court just took that tool away. And so it means that, even if the administration is violating millions of people's rights at once, then individuals who see their rights violated might have to hire their own lawyer, find the money to get representation, and go to court to receive an injunction that protects them. So I know that this sounds a little bit academic, it sounds a little bit abstract, but the harms on the ground will be real, not just for birthright citizenship, not just in immigration, but in a bunch of other cases like the illegal impoundment of federal funds and foreign aid, where the administration is currently boxed in by a nationwide injunction. Within days, if not hours, those injunctions will be dramatically narrowed, and the administration can continue pursuing its agenda even if a court thinks it's illegal.
You're mute.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Where's the Constitution in all this? Is my question.
It's not there. And I feel like these, as an activist against this illegal, unconstitutional regime, that they are co-conspirators in the demolition and the murder of democracy. And that's what I got to say about that. And I'm hot about that.
And you're right, Anitra. You're spot on.
It's like, speechless. It is
What can
a
you-
speechless moment. It's a speechless moment. 'Cause-
Something
Yeah,
that-
no, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mary.
No, I agree. I mean, I thought the Constitution was the most important document we have in this country, and that it's not being upheld is mysterious.
Gently, the spirit of Sparrow. Really.
After 250 years, one person can take away all of our rights, and people can feel unsafe walking around the streets of the United States.
It's just another way to divide us. And I've been saying it all along now for several years, united we stand, divided we fall.
And it's true.
It's just another way to divide us. I mean, that's ridiculous that, certain states we might as well all be different countries then. We're no longer the United States. We're just the states. We're not united. So
Right.
let's just call ourselves states and we all pick a blue state to live in and be happy and be done. I mean, what else can you do? I mean, May Money's right. Let's get rid of it. Let's all move to California and make it its own country.
Yeah, I did hear Newsom say
big enough,
California
too.
is good for right now.
Something I
in
keep
relation
asking
to
myself too with all of this is like, okay, so now what's next on the chopping block? Like, what next do these MAGA
Right.
people think is going to be something that they're just against?
Oh, I think we know. Gay
I do
rights.
have a little news. Gavin Newsom today filed a lawsuit against, I just remembered it, against Fox News
We're going
for
to talk about
700.
that.
Oh, okay. I'll shut
Yeah,
up then.
That's okay. That's okay. But brilliant. I mean, yes, we have some other news. Yeah. So definitely he did that.
I would say to what's next to Katie's question is in Project 2025, because he's slowly working his way through everything that's in Project 2025. All the people who are behind what Donald Trump is doing, because that man is not a genius, and he has fucking dementia probably. Yeah, it's all telegraphed in Project 2025. And what is amazing to me is this man his family has been in this country for less time than a lot of people. Like a lot of Black people. My family is a descendants of slaves. We've been here for fucking ever. He is second generation German, first generation Scottish. I'm not sure how his mom got here, and if she was brought here by legal means. I'm pretty sure she wasn't. She probably is someone who gave birth illegally, and he's probably an anchor baby. And I don't use that term because I actually think it's pretty offensive, but I'm using it because that's what he and his ilk use. And so the idea that he wants to deny the same opportunity to other people because they're brown or Black is just abhorrent and ridiculous to me.
Absolutely. And Michelle makes a great point too, right? We already heard that the courts gave him permission to send people, to deport people to a different country, and not just a different country, but to a jail in a different country.
And that's out of pocket. That is really out of pocket.
Right.
And I really I think the Supreme Court needs to be looked at too, because I've been tired of them. I really have been tired of them. They have been enabling. So once this is all said and done, there's going to be a lot of trials for treason, and they need to be looked at as well. I'm sorry. That's just a fact.
Well, what I think is, they say this is based on a Christian premise, but none of them live like Christians. None of them. All of them, adultery or like I said, some of them hang out at Jay-Z parties. They not Jay-Z party, Diddy's parties, and
Epstein parties.
Epstein parties. The other guy that couldn't get into office was the pedophile, and the one from Florida, what was his name?
Gates.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot about him. Why'd you have to bring him up?
Well, because none of these people, they want to act like Christians, but they don't even act like Christians.
No.
That's that white supremacist Jesus. That's what that is.
Yeah, and then want to put your name in the Bible. So not only are you a king, you now a god.
They have a different Jesus. It's not the same one. They just have the same name.
Yeah,
That's why we all confused.
See,
It's all just
that's what
hypocrisy.
it is.
It's hypocrisy.
No, it's about power, control, and money.
Exactly.
Let's drill in.
Well, they want to control the people.
Well, yeah. So Sotomayor, one of the things that I think was indicated was that no right is safe in the new legal regime the court creates. Today, the threat is to birthright citizenship. Tomorrow, a different administration may try to seize firearms from law-abiding citizens or prevent people of certain faiths from gathering to worship. It's the precedent, right, that's being set. It's the dominoes can fall. And of course, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that a Democrat never gets back in the office in the White House. I hate to bring up the bummer stuff, but this is important. We need to talk about it. We need to keep our eye on it. People need to.
Well, and they're voting on that bill tonight too.
Not tonight. They postponed it.
Oh, they did? Oh, last I heard it was.
Yeah, I'll pull that up. So let's hope it'll be over. Yeah. It's going to take a while to recover.
Yeah. I think to Michelle's point, I think it's going to be over, but I don't think it's going to be over in our favor. I am just when I heard the thing about the courts today, I was like, I don't know, defeated.
But if you such a good husband, I want to hold your hand.
I'm not a good husband. You don't want to hold my hand.
So real quick, Jim, they announced that they've canceled the budget vote for today.
Okay, well, that's
a lot of it is due to the parliamentarian who took out stuff that shouldn't be in the bill in the first place.
And now they all want to take her out.
Right.
Shouldn't even be no bill.
For doing her job.
Oh, that whole bill away. Shit.
I'm tired of it. It's scary. They need 3. They've lost 3. I think they have to have 3 dissenters in order not to make it or something like that.
So I mentioned before the show that in Miami, they decided to postpone the mayoral election that was scheduled for November of this year to November of next year. They claim it's because they want to make sure they have funds to run the election, but conveniently, the current mayor of Miami would be termed out this year, and he's a Republican. So he's
There's always an angle.
Yeah.
Are they going for that?
Yeah.
Can they get away with it?
At this point, like they want to make sure that Democrats can't be in office, whether it's federally or on the state level.
They want to make sure that we won't even have the ability to vote anymore. That's really what it is.
One of the things, I don't know if you ever watched James Carville at all.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday I watched him. I meant to pull the clip. There's only so much. Someone asked that question on their podcast. What happens, right, if they cancel elections? And he said he truly believes there would be an uprising in this country like they have never seen before, ever. And I believe that. I do believe that. What do you guys think?
Who did you say is going to be fired?
Powell.
Powell.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
I think he's the Fed chair.
Yeah, Jerome Powell.
Yes.
The guy that Trump keeps calling out every time he refuses to change the interest rates.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think, we said that it's, not going to end in our favor. I do think it's going to end in our favor, but it's not going to be pretty getting there. It's going to be real ugly. And I'm sorry, I think there will be like casualties. I mean, there already have been. Look at what happened in Minnesota just a week ago. We don't even talk about that anymore.
I think
I
I
know.
think
It's
that
like it never happened.
I
Right.
think they're trying to break us as much as they can.
Well, Sylvester Turner,
I'll
he
break my
passed
foot up
away.
your ass. How about that? Bring that
Sylvester
shit over here
Turner
if you
passed
want
away in Texas,
to.
and they said they're not going to replace him yet. And so what they're trying to do is gerrymander here again in Texas and have a Republican control. So in their own way, they're doing this all across the country.
They are.
Whatever vacancy a state has.
I've been seeing though, just with like small things, whether it's, not that the mayoral race in New York City is small, but just the fact of Mamdani getting through and winning the Democratic nomination is a pretty big deal. And there's some other places that, even though it seems small, like their Democrats are winning Senate seats over, people who've held Republican seats for years, and it sometimes takes those small little victories that we also have to try to celebrate too, even though everything is on fire around us half the time.
Not to be a Debbie Downer, but now they're saying the Democratic Party isn't supporting him.
They're not. These people are.
Well, it's kind of like Bernie Sanders.
That's true.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Barack Obama.
Michelle, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So Michelle, yeah, agree.
We keep seeing everybody fall in line behind Donald Trump. We see them all fall in line. And the day we start seeing Democrats fall in line with him is the day we can just pack it up. It's over.
I don't trust none of them.
I don't trust any of them.
Look what they did to Jasmine Crockett. They was like, you're not going to be nobody's chair of nothing.
We can't. See, I disagree. I think the day that happens is the day that like Michelle just said, everybody has to be in the streets.
I hope so.
And that's what I've been saying.
And that's what James Carville is
around
saying.
Washington.
We can't put our head in the sand. We can't hide under our blankets.
That's right.
I mean, almost so much so that like we need to be like, people need to stop going to work. People need to stop going to. I really do think it's gonna have to get to that point where we literally turn off the whole shit. Turn off the whole system. That's the only way. Like, so nobody's going to work. Nobody's on the TV. Nobody's on the, except for stuff like this and like the activism part of it. But like, we have to turn off the faucet here because it's just terrible and we're not getting anything done. I mean, the protests are all fine and dandy, but and they've been peaceful, but the only reason that they have been peaceful is because Black people aren't there. You know what I mean? So there's another thing. So we need to all be together and just turn this whole system off. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen at some point.
I think it's going to be when a lot of people realize they've lost their Medicaid benefits as well.
Yeah.
They've lost their Medicaid benefits. These food pantries are closed. You don't have WIC for your, low-income families. And the food prices continue to go up. The eggs haven't been lowered. If it's been lowered, something else rolls up.
Well, I seen today.
Go ahead, Anitra.
I seen today where they were talking about across the board. Where's my train of thought? Here we go. Groceries, Afterpay, different things like that. People are starting to pay it on that, and starting in the fall, they're going to start putting all that stuff. It's like $1 billion and some dollars that we use on our credit reports and to see how people are doing. But all that coming together on top of people not being able to afford things, and them still not wanting to raise the hourly wages, and if they do raise them, they have to raise other people's because things have got to match.
And
It's just
right.
It's not going to work out. It's going to be in the street.
I don't know if, because I heard it too, Anitra, that you putting the stuff on pay on time or something is going to affect your credit rating. Your credit score is going to go down. And it's hard to get a good credit score to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be all.
So one more thing on this. We do have good news. People are fighting back, right?
Yeah.
As the court concludes today, executive lawlessness will flourish. And from there, It is not difficult to predict how this all ends. Eventually, executive power will become completely uncontainable, and our beloved constitutional republic will be no more. That's why we have to continue.
Isn't that his whole point? Isn't that what he's trying to do? Isn't that Project 2025?
Absolutely.
And it's happening. How many pieces of Project 2025 have already come to fruition? How many more how many more dominoes need to fall or pieces need to fall in place for it to be checkmate? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know if anybody here knows, but
the problem is that like Justice. Sorry, Andrea. The Justice Amy Coney Barrett said that what Justice Jackson said was extreme.
She said
Amy Coney Barrett is extreme.
Ever since she got there, I feel like she's the vector. She's knee deep in something. I feel like she's some kind of I don't know. She was a plant or something. I just don't care for her.
She's something.
She's voted the right way a few times.
A couple of times. She's voted what she believes in, I think. I'm not a big fan either, but she hasn't always been pro-Trump on everything.
She's a wild card, but I think she's still someone not to be trusted if you're on the side of justice and wanting to see this country move in the direction that actually cares for people.
I mean, like, look what happened with Roe v. Wade. That's the whole reason why she even kind of got in, is to take that. I mean, look, we don't even talk about the abortion rights no more. That we lost that battle a long time ago. I'm sorry. Women, we lost. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now.
So made money that we're not in a third world country, but I can't say what happens with my body. I can't say what happens with my money. I can't say anything right now. I got dogs now.
And we love our fur babies.
Okay.
All right, so this is not good news. Go ahead, Marie.
Say one thing. I agree with Keisha. That was a strange move she made today, because she had done a couple of positive things, like Kim said. But man, I am totally turned off by what she did today. That was uncalled for and disrespectful and not right. I'm sorry. That was bad, very bad. But what can we do? I don't know. I've never seen.
And she's always so quiet. Like, so why would you even like come out of your hidey hole just to say some bullshit like that? You know what I mean?
Excuse me for a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to a little bit of good news. Maybe we still have fighters out there, and I think those are the people we need to still root for, right? So I have a clip on this, but Newsom is suing Fox News for $787 million for defamation, right? So he's still continuing to fight the lies. I mean, he's tired of it, like we are. And I have a clip here. Maybe. Thought I had a clip here. SCOTUS, Mary. No. Where'd it go? That's what happens. I got a lot of baby tantrums.
Do you want us to vamp while you find the clip?
Yeah, vamp. Let me see if I can pull it.
Gavin Newsom is like I lived in California for a long time, and Gavin Newsom was in office while I lived there, and I go back and forth on him. Like, sometimes I'm like, yay, Gavin, we trust you. Yay, you do the right things. Other times I'm like, why are you going and doing a podcast with these right-wingers and platforming them? This is a move that I'm glad that he's doing, but I'm also still like...
a piece of theater.
Side-eyeing, yes.
He's a politician.
Well, he is running for president, right?
He's a politician.
So we do know that. Yeah. So I found the clip. So let's listen to a little bit. It's long. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but we'll go through the first part of it.
News here, and that is that you have sued Fox News. Can you explain what that lawsuit is about?
Well, it's in my personal capacity. It's a defamation lawsuit because they willfully and knowingly distorted facts. They lied about a phone call that never occurred between the President of the United States and myself. on not one, but multiple occasions. Their news organization, from John Roberts himself to Jesse Waters, knowingly misstated facts. In fact, so much so there was a chyron in the Jesse Waters show that blatantly suggested that I lied about a phone call with Donald Trump. And so I'm not someone that litigates. I'm not someone that typically would jump on something like this, but it was so blatant. It was so gratuitous that I felt compelled to push back against this propaganda network.
And so what would it take for you to dismiss this case? Because that was part of the letter that had been sent to Fox News via your attorneys today.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. Just apologize and give it as much airtime that you gave it when you weaponized the lie. Remember, this is the largest news organization, cable news organization in the United States, 65 plus million people, Fox News, Fox Business, hundreds of millions of people as it relates to social networks carried that. My inbox was blowing up saying, from people that are supporters of mine saying, why did you lie about the phone call? I said, what are you talking about? Not realizing the origin story. So it was damaging. It was impactful. It was happening in the middle of a very contentious moment in U.S. history, not just the history of this state vis-a-vis the Trump administration. It was around the National Guard and the back and forth. And I've never seen something so blatant. It's one thing to assert, it's one thing to omit. It's another to see a news organization knowingly and willfully lying and manipulating the facts and defaming someone. So look, we can allow it to continue or we can push back. And I'm choosing in this defamation suit to push back and demanding an apology. And in the absence of that, let's go to court.
Yeah. And this one, I love this little here. He cannot be trusted to tell the truth to anyone at any time about anything. And to me, that includes Fox News. So,
yeah, but Gavin, that's it's more than an apology here. You need to shut it down.
Yeah.
We can't apologize, and it goes off with Trump's plane and all the other things that have been swept under the rug in the last 6 months.
Yeah, no, I honestly, it's a good start. Sue them into oblivion, run their pockets, take all the money that you can. Go ahead. I'm all here for that. But they need to be disbanded at another point, at some point.
Yeah, the whole give me an apology.
Not good. They are toxic. They are damaging to this country, and a huge reason why we're in this. Like I said, I'm going to keep saying this. I sound like a broken record, but the Supreme Court, we need to look at them. We need to look at Fox News needs to be tried for treason against this country.
But see, that's Murdoch.
All these people, all of them, every single treason traitor that has willingly participated and knowingly participated in this. At the end and all of it, they all need to go.
I completely agree. But the problem is people see all these people like Murdoch as these like rich overlords that just can't be touched because they have money, and that's not true. Like people can still be taken down. You just have to find the facts, and you just have to.
Money don't make you smart.
Exactly.
Just harder to quash because, I mean, he's got Tubi, he's got money coming out of the yin yang, and so it's going to be very difficult. But I tell you what, they need to make him more accountable, like Dominion did in other places. So, and that's the reason why he chose that amount, because the same amount Dominion asked for.
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of cool.
I was wondering about the random number. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, that too. I'm 33 cents.
Yeah.
An apology is not enough. A retraction on every freaking lie they've ever said has to be gone and has to run, so their viewers finally get the truth. And that's what really needs to happen. Retraction after retraction after retraction, instead of just one apology to Gavin Newsom. That's not going to do any good, and he shouldn't accept an apology.
The thing is
on behalf of the rest of us.
Will those followers believe the truth? That's another thing.
No, it's already been damaged. That's why you got to sue them.
They'll be
Well,
saying it's the deep state or
they
something.
believed them the first time around for the lies, so maybe they just believe whatever comes out of their mouth. So
the damage has already been done, so he has every reason to sue them now.
Remember a couple shows ago, we talked about the philosophy and psychology of that. People, that's why it's labeled a cult, because these people will not stop believing.
Can't stop, won't stop. Sorry, y'all.
They like ultimate power. They wanted ultimate power when they came over in the Nina Pinta and the Santa Maria, and they still think they deserve ultimate power, and they don't. And they might think they winning, but they're not gonna win. Just again, keep hope alive.
Can I tell y'all my dream?
Yes.
I wrote a post on Substack, and this is not about me plugging my Substack because I have
and you're more than welcome to plug your Substack. Everybody look up Keisha on her Substack.
Well, it's more thank you, I appreciate that. It's more that I do believe that we will win, and I think that we all need to be prepared to think about what it is that we believe in and what we want to see in a country. And to May Money's point, I think the Supreme Court, I don't know if that needs to be a thing or we need to make it larger or what, but it's gotta be different. And Fox News needs to go. We need to have truth in media. If you call yourself a news organization, you have to report news, and you need to report fairly. Like, it can't just be regurgitating talking points and promoting politicians.
We want truth. We don't want fairness.
Yes, because what the media does right now is all they care about is making money and getting viewers, and the viewers help get them money. And so they just repeat. That's how Donald Trump got elected. They just put him on video.
All of this on Christian beliefs, but the way they treat everybody and everything is they're gonna all burn in hell.
We can only hope.
Well, the problem with that is too, it's supposed to be a separation of church and state.
They haven't separated. That's what they want.
That's what frustrates me.
That's part of the problem is they want it together.
Right.
Keisha, you have a point. I'm sorry.
You're not walking around like a Christian. That's what I was saying earlier. You're not even walking around like a Christian.
Keisha does have a point about the Supreme Court. That's been a mess for quite a while now. And somebody has to go back and say, why do they get to stay and never have to retire? Why?
Yeah,
there's a lot of bad things in that, and I don't know how that reads. It was written way back when, right, from the beginning of time, and I think it has to be cleaned up.
So it's the Constitution, but we're not paying attention to that.
Yeah,
going back for a second to the Fox News comment from Keisha, didn't they have to put some kind of disclaimer that they're not a news organization, they're for entertainment purposes or something?
They're an opinion. See, cable got away with that. The fairness doctrine is what kept the news organizations in check until Reagan got rid of that, right? So still some news organizations are held to a standard, not the same standard. The NBC's, ABC's, CBS, etc. Cable just ran with it, right? Because they didn't fall under that.
There's something else I don't agree with: electoral votes.
Let's get rid of that too.
You mean the whole country voted, and then so we're gonna take this 20 from this state and that 10 from this and 30 from there, and forget what I said. Forget what the whole country said.
It's antiquated.
That makes no sense to me. They need to get rid of the term limits on the Supreme Court and get rid of electoral votes.
Well, and they need to remove the DOJ from being under any control from the executive branch.
That's right. All of it.
There you go.
So we have a lot to fix, but we need to get democracy back first.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't perfect, but at least we could do something with it. Now it's a mess, right?
Maslow's hierarchy of greater need. Take care of your fundamental things now and then work on everything else as you get there.
That's right.
Yeah. So you guys want to switch gears and have a little fun?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
All this seriousness. Whew.
Yes.
I do want to acknowledge a couple. First, Monique, this is all about turning theocracy with the executive having all the power. Yeah. So we know that we need to keep reminding people about Project 2025. And then Michelle, this one. I do believe that one day the country will come back to a better country, but I don't see that in the near future. I agree. We will. But we're going to go through some hell before we get there. Right?
Yep.
So
no, they're going to go through hell and back.
I was going to show this beautiful clip from Congress, but I think I'll save that for next week. We do have Congress people speaking out.
Well, that's what I'm talking about Sylvester Turner, that, you know, he passed away and they haven't filled the position. So there's one less Democratic position of, you know, right now.
Exactly.
I get to talk.
Okay. So let's talk about our tantrum of the week. This is something a little bit new I thought we could do. This is like the kickoff of it. We can make it better. We could dump it. We could do whatever we want with it. But the three kind of people that I thought would be good this week was Trump, Hegseth, and then MAGA. And I'll show you the clip of what I mean by that. So keep that in mind, and let's look at a couple of clips. Let's see what we think.
They're doing. Do you understand that?
Yes, Mr. President, we understand. We understand you're furious because you said the US bombing of Iran would be followed by peace and harmony, what Donald Trump called a complete and total ceasefire. It didn't happen. Any more than the immediate peace deal between Russia and Ukraine he thought would happen, happened. Or any more than China knuckling under faced with American tariffs, happened. Or Canada suddenly wanting to join the United States. All together now, saying something on social media doesn't make it so. Thank you for your attention.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to show that before we showed the actual clip of
a mood swing. Last night he was ecstatic, posting that a ceasefire had been reached between Israel and Iran and there was finally peace. But after missiles started flying again, he became enraged. Today, while speaking with reporters, he got so worked up he dropped a bomb of his own.
President Trump dropped the F-bomb on live TV in a furious rant at Iran and Israel for breaching the fragile ceasefire.
Yeah, we basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what they're doing. Do you understand that?
The in-your-face outburst came as the president was leaving for the NATO summit in the Netherlands.
Hey, Walker. His hair looked good. It's aerodynamic.
And he's off to the NATO summit.
That's funny.
Right.
He is right now. That look funny.
Dropping the F-bomb and you want to drop it, that's fine, but they'll never need to say nothing else.
Oh my gosh.
It's cussing worthy. It's cussing time.
Yeah, but you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Now, which one you want to be, a Christian or a hellion?
It's gonna be 2 Corinthians.
Okay, so that is candidate number 1. It's Trump. Shall we look at candidate number 2?
You, and I mean specifically you, the press, specifically you, the press corps, because you cheer against Trump so hard. It's like in your DNA and in your blood to cheer against Trump because you want him not to be successful so bad. You have to cheer against the efficacy of these strikes. You have to hope maybe they weren't effective. Maybe the way the Trump administration has represented them isn't true. So let's take half-truths, spun information, leaked information, and then spin it. Spin it in every way we can to try to cause doubt and manipulate the public mind over whether or not our brave pilots were successful. And what's really happening is you're undermining the success of incredible B-2 pilots and incredible F-35 pilots and incredible refuelers and incredible air defenders who accomplished their mission, set back a nuclear program in ways that other presidents would have dreamed. How about we celebrate that? How about we talk about how special America is, that only we have these capabilities? I think it's too much to ask, unfortunately, for the fake news. So we're used to that. But we also have an opportunity to stand at the podium and read the truth of what's really happening. And the reality is, you want to call it destroyed, you want to call it defeated, you want to call it obliterated, choose your word. This was an historically successful attack, and we should celebrate it as Americans. And it gives us a chance to have peace, chance to have a deal, and an opportunity to prevent a nuclear Iran, which is something President Trump talked about for 20 years, and no other presidents had the courage to actually do.
Yeah, and when he did it, he had the wrong
You know, he's scared. Y'all could tell. You can hear it in his voice, and like people don't do that unless they're scared. Like behave like that. He's scared.
Yeah,
He's a Gotham villain. I'm calling him the Hexethinator.
Not Gotham. He's not good enough for Gotham.
He's a king jerk. I mean, that man. Oh, no one incenses me except for Trump.
But it comes to the point that if Trump didn't open his big mouth and exaggerate things from the start, we could all have been amazed by, think about it, that we have these weapons that went undetected, dropped on a little tiny target from 1,000,000 miles of the sky and flew all that way. That's pretty amazing. That should make us all feel a little secure that we have that kind of power and kind of strength.
Oh, yeah.
We need it. But then he had to go out and say we obliterated everything and go out and make his own facts up before we have any facts. We still don't have facts. We don't know.
So I don't know if y'all talk to your TVs, but I have the misfortune of watching this on TV because I have the news on in the morning when I'm getting ready. And I was yelling at my TV, shut the fuck up. You're getting mighty defensive, little Petey. Like, why are you getting so defensive?
The man protest a bit.
Exactly. And I saw on Threads a few people who are like, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I know what it looks like when someone has been drinking, and this man has been drinking. Allegedly.
The only, like I said, the only thing obliterated is his liquor cabinet.
Okay, well, well, let's hear a little commentary from one of our other colleagues.
Hegseth is on Fox claiming the leaks, the deep state. Meanwhile, in reality, it was probably another Signalgate episode or Carl from the break room printing the wrong file. But Pete's like, send in the tanks. Calm down, Rambo. It's not a Marvel movie.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Calm down, Rambo. It's not a Marvel movie.
Oh boy. How'd you like that, James?
That's funny.
Hey, welcome. Okay. We got a new viewer.
He's so cute.
That's
hey.
Contestant number 2. I think that people like Trump could have been dropped down the stairs a couple times as a toddler. Love that, Mike. Love that.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's contestant number 2. Shall we move to contestant number 3?
Yes.
Contestants. I put this in the MAGA kind of group.
And coming next,
I don't understand that.
Raggedy.
Look, and it goes back to because you don't really believe it's true. That's why.
To fallen, I would use economic sanctions and I would use moral suasion to try to effectuate.
If you
regime
topple,
change.
okay, so you topple the regime and by whatever means, what happens then? How many people live in Iran, by the way? Population. You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's, it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and
what
predominantly Shia. Okay, this is
it's not
okay.
even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump.
cry out to the Tantrum Crybaby YouTube channel. Yeah,
it is not that
came from
serious,
that.
y'all. Jeez.
But why I love Baby Tuck?
First time I ever liked
Lover's Quarrel if I've
Tucker
ever
Carlson.
seen it.
Did anybody else find it ironic that the captions were in Russian at the beginning?
I did. I was trying to find a different version of it. But
I thought that added to it. That was perfect.
It's cute. But yeah, I'm going for the Cruz, man, because I love watching that video. It's the best thing all week. I'm sorry, I couldn't believe Tuck did it, but Tuck did it. I'm gonna give it the props.
even agree.
Said, Tucker acted like a journalist there, right?
He sure did. I was surprised. I didn't know he could do it.
I said, Tuck, what the mother? What?
Go ahead, Tucker.
But
The first time I ever liked him.
Yeah, seriously. Ted Cruz is so kind of hilarious to me because I remember the first time I really started kind of paying attention to him was he was on the border and he was doing some cosplay kind of like Kristi Noem does and going on the border and it was like I could see the Mexican. He was like all up in the bushes like and that was so funny, just like all up in the bushes talking, oh, here's the border, you can see the Mexicans coming in. Like it was so funny. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You are embarrassing yourself.
Agreed.
Have you guys ever seen when he was like, it was something to do with different names or something or proper pronouns, and people are like, well, I guess we should start calling Ted Enrique.
Enrique Cruz.
If we can all call you Ted, if you can call him Ted.
Well, that was to May Money. That was like Sarah Palin. You remember? I can see Russia from my house.
Oh my goodness!
All the Saturday Night Live and all.
I forgot about that. Oh man, I lived through that. Oh, that was a headache. Oh,
see Russia from my house.
Okay, got it. So everyone in the chat and everyone in the panel don't have an official poll set up yet, so we'll kind of get there. This is rude, crude, and off the cuff. So let's go around. So everyone in the chat, vote for your. Need a drum roll.
What a week! I'm gonna throw
Tantrum of the week.
Tantrum of the week. Don't take no shit.
There you go. I have sound effects, but got too many things going here.
It's a hard choice. I think I'm gonna go with number 2 though.
That's what I was thinking too.
So May says Hegseth.
I'm gonna have to go Hegsethinator.
In the chat.
I'm gonna have to do Hegseth too.
You're supposed to put it in the chat.
Oh, in the chat?
Well, no, I want the people in the chat to do it, and then I will tally everything up. And then Andrea, you're here, not you.
I'm going Hegseth because
I took it literal.
I'm going Hegseth because when he went off about women and people talking about race, the man seemed like he was going to have a real meltdown. I was really waiting for him to lose his entire shit.
He was saying, "Give me a drink. Give me a drink."
Okay.
He was all tense and his face was.
We have one in the chat for our MAGA team, Tucker and Ted, the T's.
That was good though. I might watch that again.
Okay.
Somebody didn't vote. Who didn't vote?
I am going for the Ted Cruz because I think he acted like the biggest baby.
He did.
Cornered.
He was like, well, what do you do it for? Because you said a lot of hard questions.
The other one, exactly. Hegseth was just ranting and raving and protecting his daddy, but this one, Ted Cruz was just whining and crying like a little bitch. He could not handle the truth. He couldn't handle the questions, and he was literally whining. Whining.
They embodied
ranting,
toddler.
he was whining as a toddler. So. What do you mean? I don't
hasn't voted.
Carlson brain to know how many people live there.
Everybody vote.
I said Hegseth. I don't know if you heard me, Kim.
You said Hegseth? Okay.
Maureen, did you vote?
Yeah, Hegseth.
Hegseth.
Yeah.
We had like 6 Hegs that we had in the chat. We had a vote for Tucker. And
that was me.
So, looks like Hegseth wins.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a pina colada to celebrate.
That's the ultimate sippy cup.
Okay.
That's a tippy sippy cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody on the club getting tippy sippy.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, at least we got to laugh a little bit.
You know, can I mention an honorable mention though?
Yes.
Marjorie Greene and her
Yeah.
literally banging the gavel on the table.
I so wanted that to hit her in the face.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
With that gavel, huh? Yeah.
I had her, but I couldn't find a good
I don't
clip.
think I saw it.
Tantrum. She all her tantrums were on
It
X.
was the worst, Andrea. She was banging the gavel like it was a fucking club.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It was crazy.
At least she went ahead with everything anyway. So what was the purpose of all that?
It was like
literally like this,
like one of these blocks or something.
She was having a Tourette's fit, and no offense, people with Tourette's, legitimately, but the woman was just on one.
Yeah,
I was upset.
It's
when
so
you called
contrived.
Jasmine stupid.
And the thing is, it's like
Jasmine stupid. Jasmine not stupid.
Right.
Yeah,
She's
and
brilliant.
the thing is like these people. I mean, it's just a huge waste of time. I'm like, can we just stop with these meetings and even have it talking to these people? Because it's just like, honestly, a 6-hour nap would be more productive. You know, at least you get some rest and whatnot.
And high schoolers in debate club know how these things work better than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like,
Mm-hmm.
And where's it going? Like she said, what's the end of this? Y'all keep having all these meetings and charging us all this money to do all this stuff, and there's not one resolution. Not one.
I mean, literally, like with John Ossoff, that dude came up into the thing and his homie Andrew was plugging him with all the information and the numbers. So I'm like, well, why don't we just talk to Andrew then? Why are you here, sir? Like, that should just be the question. What are you doing here? Just go somewhere then. Like, you're wasting everybody's time.
So Michelle's asking, what about Roy Chip in that committee meeting?
Remember him.
Chip Roy, you mean?
Chip Roy.
yeah, that's that was so cute, Anisha. I like your giggle.
It tickled me.
But what did Chip Roy do? I don't remember.
I don't know.
The only thing I remember about
Let's
Chip
ask
Roy
Michelle.
was he said something about like he thinks that the bill should have even more cuts or something. Like that's why.
Oh, that guy.
That's why he voted against it because it didn't have enough.
And it's only
he had problems.
With money that's asking for the cuts.
Yeah. I tell you another honorary mention. Chris Cuomo about the election in New York. Oh my.
I saw that clip.
He had a complete meltdown. I was like, what happened to Chris?
I didn't see that one.
You gotta nominate.
Oh, you got to watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just like his head turned pink and exploded.
Damn.
That would have been a good
And he
one.
came and recommended Mamdani, whatever it is. I don't say Mamdani now.
Mamdani.
Oh, I heard about this, but Michelle, I heard about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
You get a chance, you're gonna be like, calm down. Do he need to be resuscitated?
Maybe he needs a tippy cup.
Right, like I'm getting you this. Here's some oxygen.
Yeah,
He went back to his daddy and brought it back. Went back to daddy, came back again. Went back to his brother, his daddy again. He was just like, no.
Well, it's the Cuomo.
I got a blunt over here, Chris. If you need it, if you need a little calm down, some CBD, little THC, maybe help.
Little 99 grapes or something.
Let's see. Michelle's got another. Oh, saw it with Chris. You know, his feelings were about his brother. Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't watch that either. I'm sure.
I know.
I still
But, people are tired of the establishment
over all the military.
And that's what it is. People tired of the establishment because we just need something new. And unfortunately, it brought us Trump, but it can bring us some good too, maybe. So
that's right.
I think that just wraps it up in a nice little bow, right
We
there.
gotta be careful when we keep saying we
Well,
need
before
something
we-
new because what's new is right around the corner, and that's dictatorship.
No, don't say that, James. No,
We're
no.
not going there. We're going to end on a high note today.
Yeah, Jim. Damn.
Okay, so I like to end with something feel good. All
I
the
like to
babies
make
have
you all
fun
suicidal by
and
the end of this.
feel good. You like to poke the bear.
I like to.
So so that I've been following the Eagles up in Big Bear since they hatched.
Yes.
And we don't see much of them nowadays. I went up there last week. I didn't really get to see them too much, but someone put a little clip together of one of them, and this is Gizzy. So Gizzy is she's the youngest of the three. The first one didn't make it past 3 or 4 weeks, and then Sonny was second, and then Gizzy. So Gizzy's a little bit clumsy, so someone did a little compilation, and I thought it was really cute. So this is Gizzy, recently fledged eaglet up in our local mountains here in Big Bear. Oops.
The greatest American hero of Eagles.
I don't think that girl can see.
We love you, Gizzy girl.
Oh,
that was nice.
She the greatest American hero. Believe it or not. Remember, he used to land crash.
And everyone freaked because she fledged on accident. So she was up on the branch and lost her footing. And then it's like, whoops. Oh, wait, I got wings. I can fly. Oh,
thank God.
Yeah. But it's been just watching, being in touch with this nature has been a godsend, actually.
Everybody needs their things.
Yeah. And we need it. And we need to see the cute puppy videos and we need our.
Look out for our shorts and like and subscribe.
I did karaoke last night. That's what I'd be needing.
Woo! There you go. Music is great.
Oh yeah, music is absolute. Yeah.
Y'all know how I do it.
Yeah.
I wonder why our pictures are more vibrant on my cell phone than on my laptop.
We'll talk about that later, Andrew.
Andrea.
Look behind the scenes.
One day we'll need a compilation video of Andrea correcting people when they say something.
But it's so pretty. It's so vibrant on my phone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it would be nice sometime to all get together in person.
Yes.
Well,
really
May
would.
Money was talking about Oakland.
Yeah, the Black Woman Summit. It has Jasmine Crockett, Joy Reid's gonna be there. That's August 2nd at the Oakland Arena. So I mean, that's something we could do, and I could put together like a place so we could meet up and like have dinner or whatever, hang out.
And we were talking about covering it too, live for those who can't go.
Oh, okay.
Might be a little too close, but we'll see.
You asked Don too, didn't you?
I sent Nikki an email. He probably already knows about it. Those are all his homies. So anyway,
yeah.
What's the date again? August the 2nd, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll put the thing in the chat, and then maybe we can even put it on our channel so people, that our viewers can know as well. You're more than welcome to come through.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of our time together.
Thank
Any last
you.
words, everybody? Any last words for our
it was
wonderful
really
guests in the
uplifting.
chat?
Stay
Thank
up.
you, everybody.
Stay
who joined
woke.
us. We love you.
Again, thank you for putting it all together.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep it gangster.
What's happening?
Thank you for your time.
And we have a few words
Everybody's
as we
time, but
leave.
we have a choice.
Right.
So when will you be all moved in, Andrea?
We'll talk. Let's end.
My son is not taking
Bye,
no
everybody.
direction.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
And that's a wrap from We the People Unite, live from the sandbox of American dysfunction. We've seen yelling, we've seen gaslighting, we've seen enough projection to open a movie theater. So do your thing, like subscribe and share this truth with someone who still thinks chaos equals strength. Remember, grown-ups don't scream to be heard. They listen to lead. Stay kind, stay fierce, and stay out of the mess unless you brought wipes. Let your voice be heard every Wednesday and Friday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Unite, defend, reclaim. See you next time.
We the people unite.